Last time on AI The Somnium Files.
Health tea? You cannot fix an unhealthy lifestyle with tea.
But that is wrong. Tea fixes everything. That is wrong. Hey guys, Raiden here, and welcome back to AI The Somnium Files. Initially, I was going to start in the menu, like the chapter select menu, but the game loaded me straight into, back into Iris's creepy warehouse somnium, and the screen started to do this. I don't know if this is a graphical error, or if the game's just trying to spook me right now. What the fuck? What was that? That didn't...
A CRT TV.
I am like 90% sure that didn't even happen last time. Well, anyways. I guess we're doing what we did before. And we're just gonna spin the dial. I was planning on doing some other stuff first, but the game just decided, nah, I'm just gonna load you into messed up somnium, so...
Stop!
What is this video?
It was someone murdering someone else. And someone staring at a picture of Iris's mom.
It is difficult to believe, but these are the faces of the victims of the original Cyclops killer.
What? What is going on here? Iris, what are you hiding?
We should continue. There are more objects to inspect now.
Oh god. Well, consider me prematurely creeped out. I don't know if that was a graphical error or what. I've never, I didn't even get a choice, because last time we left off at, the route select thing, and I didn't even push anything. And this time it's just plop, here you go. Creepy shit. I am hearing screaming as the soundtrack. This is going great. Anyways, I didn't really get to talk about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually pause the game right here so I can. So the last Somnium, or I should say the ending of the last route, really didn't give us that much information. It was really sweet, and everyone in the comment section was like, I can't stop the tears. Why are they all so sad? But honestly, it was a bit of a, how do I say it? It gave a lot of exposition for Oda and his backstory, which I really liked. But on the flip side, not really anything happened. As far as the murders go, we figured out that little thing about Iris, but aside from that...
A full body mirror.
This is some Silent Hill shit. Guess we'll just punch it.
Are you sure I can break this mirror?
No, I don't think you have the strength to break it.
Then why did you ask me to, pervert?
Just punch it, and I'm not a pervert.
Nope.
See? It won't break.
What was the point of that?
I'm sure there's something I could have done that would have been easier on our negative timey, but...
A full body mirror.
Whatever. Talk to it.
Can you talk?
Can you talk?
Oh, Jesus, it can.
What? Don't copy me.
What? Don't copy me.
Pervert. Date is a pervert.
Pervert. Date is a pervert.
Why do I have to get called a pervert? And twice?
A full body...
Let's take a look, then.
A torso in the reflection.
A torso? Not you?
Is there any meaning to this?
Can't say. But what is going
This
on?
soundtrack is freaking wild. And I thought the last Somnium was the creepy one. Oh. Oh, I didn't even see this. Why is the reflection over there? In the reflection, there's no rope around the neck.
A torso with a head.
If it has a head...
This is so
still call it a
Silent
torso?
Hill inspired, it's not even funny.
What would you call it?
choke it, I guess. That face
Even my
Iba just made was horrifying. Jesus.
While I was unconscious, the room changed.
I'm tired of this. We have no choice but to investigate.
Oh, I really don't like I like the Somnium because it's a proper creep out, but man, is it making me like weary of walking around the room. See, there's an operating room table and a medicine bottle. There's also a TV.
A drug bottle that holds.
Chug it. Just chug it.
Do not pressure me, Date,
Pressure you?
into drinking alcohol.
Is it alcohol?
Well, no.
This is for an investigation. I'm ordering you to drink it.
You are exploiting your position of power. I will set up a labor union.
An AI labor union? Sounds dystopian.
I won't drink it.
Fine.
Oh, I really don't want to walk up to these TVs.
An old
They're so creepy. Wait, that's the same time. It's not even a...
An old...
I really don't want to do this. Why am I doing this to myself? Jesus!
That video showed the face of a victim of the original Cyclops killer. It appeared to be the second victim.
What is going on? Iris has something to do with the first Cyclops case?
Unknown. I do not have enough information.
In all the murders, there's someone standing in the background watching and they're pink.
Guess that means we have to investigate more.
Why do I feel like that's Iris?
Indeed. The oil drum, shelf, and another torso have been added.
Let's go.
I just want to get this done. Excuse me, guys, if I don't do everything in this Somnium, as I don't know what's going on here.
Only a shelf.
And I don't want to stay around to find out. Let's push this back in place.
That shelf sticking out. It seems odd.
Push it. Go, Iba. Use that superhuman strength you gained. Iba, that thing's gonna fall on your head. Iba? Iba, please don't die. Oh, maybe that will move forward the Somnium. Oh, it's mimicking how each victim died. Because the first one was choking, and now Iba's gonna get hit in the... Oh, never mind.
What happened?
A metal ball must have fallen off the shelf.
Why would anyone put that there?
I just realized the objective is beat it to death. Beat what to death? Am I supposed to punch the torso?
A torso similar to a fashion mannequin.
Punch it, Iba. Wah!
I didn't get hit, did I?
There is no effect on your body, Date.
Hit my soul hard enough.
While you were unconscious, a television and an old book appeared.
I want to get off this ride.
If my calculations are correct, it will be over soon.
Let's hope you're right.
I want nothing more than for this to be over. I know there's a lot of things we can do in this room, but I just want to get out, guys. I just want to leave.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
An operating
Don't
table.
tell me what to do, boss. Oh my god, some of these options take... I guess let's try and sleep, and then we'll perform surgery, because why not, I guess? And then I can just restart from this spot, because...
How does it feel?
Awful. Am I going to be killed? Modified? I'm restless. I can't take the suspense.
Do you think they'll modify you into a grasshopper or a spider?
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay, Iba, perform surgery. I believe in you. Trauma Center,
Who do you
Iba.
intend I operate on?
Can you just pretend to do it?
Pretend to do it? Nothing's happening. How disappointing.
Damn. I thought it might trigger a memory to recreate itself or something.
Perhaps
'cause
we
in
should
the-
abandon that line of thinking.
In the other Somnium, we saw So had surgery. I don't know if it was like a
1 minute
sex change or what, but... it's hard to say. It could have also been, like, metaphorical. Anyways. Let's actually go back one timey, because we've taken up quite a bit of time just messing around with the surgical table.
You have less than 2 minutes, Date. Hurry.
Alright, I actually want to pick up this ball and see what we can do with it. There's also the television. Which, sadly, I think I'm going to want to have to look at. Alright, come on, last TV.
An old...
What are you gonna do on this channel, huh? Please just turn on, like, I don't know, Star Wars? Maybe we can watch the Clone Wars.
Please. Help me. Help me.
Are these all different victims, or are these all the same victim? Because they look like they have the same face on them.
This was the third victim of the original Cyclops killer.
Why does Iris know that?
Because Iris watched all of them.
There is a possibility that she saw it online or on TV.
She even reproduced the circumstances of the killing. Would her imagination explain that?
I'm really starting to think that Iris's quote-unquote father was like the original Cyclops killer, you know? In that because she looks up to him so much, he brought Iris around with her all the time, and it's influenced her so badly.
Date, we have no direct evidence. For now, we must continue investigating.
I don't wanna. I just want to play the video game and hear funnies. That's all I want.
Just a locker.
I didn't get like the super secret special mega thing from this Somnium yet. Heck.
An iron ball.
Iba, this may sound like a really bad idea, but kick it.
You okay? Saiba. Are you okay?
This is nothing. Date, be logical. We must continue with the investigation. But it hurts!
Shouldn't have kicked it so hard.
An iron...
You can't even feel pain, Iba. Or can you? I don't know if you can feel pain in here.
In this form, I have impeccable balance. Due to the antennae on my head.
And really?
That's not hair? That's kind of creepy.
Oh? Would you like to see an augmented reality in which my antennae rub all over you?
Wow, what lovely antennae you have. So cute.
He wants to avoid that circumstance. We actually saw the gas canister in the other one, so whatever. Wait, there's a gun on the
1 minute
ceiling.
left.
A revolver.
Is it real?
It appears that way.
I don't know what the... Oh, the check mark means we've already checked it, I think. Because in the other Somnium, we checked that thing? I don't know. I don't know what's going on, okay, guys?
A revolver.
I'm just trying my best. Jump.
Weekly Shonen?
Don't say it.
I did the best I could. I am not a cyborg, and thus I cannot reach that height. This is not my fault.
Nobody's blaming you.
Just a lock.
Let's peek.
I saw light reflected for a moment. It is some type of metal. I cannot determine more.
Metal? Be careful, Iba.
Understood.
So this is the one last time where it like,
Just
I don't remember
a
what
lock.
happened, but it like blew up when we opened it or something like that. Oh no, it was that knife.
Iba?
It's all right. More importantly,
What is this Goldberg machine? Is Kaede here? Oh no, Kaede did this. What is this? Oh wait, is it gonna hit down the secret special Iba ball? Is that the special Iba ball that I want? It's splooshed. Oh! What is going on? What is this? I just wanted the secret item. I'm not asking for a whole lot. What the fuck? It shot the mirror.
that is...
Damn, that's brutal. What? Date? What? Oh no. Oh no. Is it that Date, before he lost his memories, was the original killer, and Iris followed him around all the time? Or maybe Iris made him do it somehow, and that's what the medicine's for. It's making him stable because he was running around killing people. Oh my god. Just to think if I went that one other route. Oh, Jesus.
What happened in that somnium?
Boss?
We saw it too.
The 4 murdered women are without a doubt the victims of the original Cyclops serial killings.
That means...
The murders that occurred 6 years ago are these memory fragments that coalesced in this somnium.
No. That means the person who killed them was...
I don't even... Alright.
Hey, did you hear something just now?
It must be in your head.
Locker in the corner. Okay then. I open it up. There's a bunch of Marimos inside. I don't know what a Marimo is. CRT
Date,
monitor.
Can you turn on the TV? Videodrone is about to start.
What's Videodrone?
You haven't seen Videodrone? It's a cult classic.
I haven't seen it, and that's not a TV anyway.
Peter? Peter looks like his usual self. About the original and new incidents.
I don't believe there's any meaningful connection. Between the original and new Cyclops serial killings, I mean.
Why is that?
The culprit is not the same. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes.
How can you be so sure?
Because I can. Don't worry about it. Just trust me.
It's because he knows that it was Date and that he's been solving the case the whole time. The red figure from the sink.
In the Somnium earlier.
Is it possible that... Well, no. The fluid in that bottle was explosive. Never mind.
I saw someone else who might be the criminal. Who was he?
I wouldn't know.
About the original Cyclops killer.
Remember what the boss said this morning. The original Cyclops killer has yet to be brought to justice. After the investigation got going, it was taken over by the government and classified. That was the last we heard anything about it.
Uh-huh.
Of course, they paid lip service to the idea that the investigation was ongoing, but in reality, it was dropped completely.
Well then. Why did the original Cyclops killer appear in Iris' Somnium?
The Sinker does not always experience the somnium they expect. Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones. When using the sync machine for an investigation, we don't always see the memories we expect to see. True, oftentimes a subject will subconsciously want to express their dark secrets and repressed memories. That is why we see them so often in Somnia, and why those Somnia are so useful for criminal investigations. But this is not a guarantee. We cannot control the content of our dreams, after all.
I see. Why did the original Cyclops killer appear in Iris' Somnium again?
It's like I told you before. Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones. This can be expressed as an equation. Dream D equals memory. This, of course, means that Dream D is a fictional event.
So, what he's basically saying is that a bunch of the dreams are mixed together from different memories, and even if they weren't there, it doesn't necessarily mean... That's the thing that I like about what they did with the story, is they didn't make the Somnium like a problem-solved machine, you know? It gives you hints, but it's not always 100% accurate.
However, the same cannot necessarily be said about memory A, B, and C. Those happened in reality. In other words, fiction is built from combinations of reality.
So what I saw in Somnium earlier...
Yes. I believe Iris actually witnessed those events.
Are all memories real?
Pewter, you said that memories happened in reality, right? But what about false memories? How do we know if the memory really happened?
Even false memories are built from the pieces of real ones. If you disassemble those pieces, you will find real events.
What about things you see in movies or television?
The events might be fictional, but the experience is not. Our imaginations are limited to what we have seen. We cannot invent something whole cloth.
That's true. Boss? About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Didn't I tell you? The entire case is a state secret. No matter how many times you ask, I won't tell you anything.
It's because they want Date to know. The blue figure from the sink.
Help me understand this. What I saw during the sink earlier, that was the scene of the original Cyclops serial killings, right?
Yeah,
So the person doing the killing was the original Cyclops killer.
right.
Did you see him? He was...
I saw your face. The original Cyclops killer was...
It can't be. That's impossible.
Date, you cannot say that for certain. You have no memories past 6 years ago.
So perhaps, Mr. Date, you are the killer. You're missing your left eye, so you steal them from others.
I'm kidding. You can't be the Cyclops killer.
Really?
Of course not. Do you think I would hire a serial killer? You interrogated Iris before the sink. What you saw in the Somnium was just a manifestation of the fear you put in her.
Maybe, but still. Why did the original Cyclops killer appear in Iris' Somnium?
You can't dream of something you know nothing about.
That means Iris must know about the killings.
6 years ago, Iris was 12.
Uh-huh.
Did she witness the crime at age 12? And not just one, but all four?
What about the original Oh, yeah. Already
The
said that.
Cyclops killer appeared 6 years ago. I lost my memory 6 years ago. There has to be some kind of connection.
There isn't. It's a coincidence.
Really?
Really.
I don't know if she's trying to look out for us or hide something, you know? I didn't learn anything from speaking with Boss and Pewter. If anything, the mystery only grew deeper. Pewter shook me from my thoughts.
Dante, it looks like Iris is about to wake up.
Got it.
I headed to the sink room.
Hey, Iris. About that dream earlier.
Dream? What dream?
There is no point in asking her, Date. The subject of a sink does not experience somnium in the way that you do.
I doubt she'll tell us anything if we ask
They
her.
will not remember it.
Then what about the Cyclops killer? From 6 years ago.
Cyclops killer? I remember hearing it on the news.
This route, I think, is a lot better if you do Iris's first. Because if you do Iris's first, not only do you get to know more about Iris as a person, but you also get to distance yourself from Mizuki and see how much she suffers from you not being around, you know? Because she's truly still under so much stress and you're not even there for her. I feel like that's honestly the optimal route to go for. First, but...
But I was just a little girl. I don't remember anything specific.
You don't?
No,
What about the scene of the murder?
I don't know. I've never been there.
But
Dreams are pieced together from memories, even repressed subconscious ones.
You can't dream of something you know nothing about. Date, could you take Iris home?
Huh?
We do not have enough evidence to hold her. Even in Somnium, we couldn't find anything. The law demands that we release her.
You cannot decline, Date.
Guess we're driving Iris home then. Wow, I don't trust her now, but at the same time, I want to. Like, a part of me wants to trust Iris, but the other part of me is like, she's just too suspicious right now.
Date, could we make a stop first?
Sure. Where?
Marble. It's a bar in Golden Yokocho.
You know about that place?
Yeah, Mr. Okiura took me before.
Why do you want to go there?
There's something I want to talk about.
We can't talk here?
It might take a while.
What do you think?
There's no reason to refuse. Besides, there's a lot I want to ask her too. Alright, sure.
Interesting. Iris nodded and pulled out her phone. Is she sending a Nile message to someone? I was curious, but I didn't want to pry. I turned the wheel and drove to Marble. Marble's such a hot spot. I mean, it puts Mama in a really bad position because she hears about absolutely everything. Because this is the place where we all return to and ask questions, you know? But she hasn't hidden anything as far as we know, so I don't feel like I should be suspicious of her, but when I walked in, I didn't see Mama anywhere. To my surprise, I saw Oda sitting at the counter.
Tessa!
Oh, Ota!
She seemed surprised that he showed up. And it's same old, same old. We never actually see the bar from this angle, now that I think about it, you know? It's a poster on the wall. A flyer. It's a poster on the wall. There's a TV on the wall. Balls of alcohol. A painting of Saint Sebastian. The special's written on the chalkboard. Okay, not much is going on around here. The bar counter. Look. It looks like he's bothered by something. I never thought I'd run into you here.
I was nihiling with Tessa earlier. She said she was going to Marbles, so... I got here just before you did. Look, I was really worried about her. She was about to be charged with a serious crime.
Isn't your phone broken?
No, this is my new one. You're thinking of the one I dropped in that puddle.
Where's Mama?
Oh, she left a little while ago. She said something about going to help an acquaintance. She told me to watch the place until she got back.
How well do you know Mama?
Not at all. It's my first time here.
I wasn't particularly surprised. Mama's always depended on the kindness of strangers ever since she opened Marble. What was that thing about?
This actually works out nicely. I want to ask you something, Ota. It's about a Nile message you sent Iris. You said you wouldn't tell anyone about that thing, that you'd stay quiet no matter what. What were you talking about?
Well,
I'll tell her about the two-witter thing. I swear I'll do it.
She's like right there.
Geez, fine. Just don't tell anyone else, okay? But before I tell you, who's that?
Who?
What?
At the door. Someone's standing outside.
There's a person outside? Again? How many times did you get Oda, you little shit? I just went through your whole Somnium and I'm like, you're such a sweet kid. And now it's no, it's back to fuck you, Oda. When I woke up, I was lying on the sofa.
Where am I?
My head was killing me and my memory was foggy. I felt a sudden pain in my neck. Where did Oda even get a taser? Let me guess, Mama came back and helped out. I shot up, rubbing my neck when I looked over at the counter. I saw a monster staring back at me. It took me a few seconds before I realized it was just Mama.
It looks like you're awake now.
As Mama spoke to me, it all came rushing back. I remembered everything. Like what? Where's Oda?
Ota? The boy I asked to watch the bar?
I'd say he's too old to be called a boy, but yeah.
He was already gone when I came back. All I saw was you getting your beauty sleep on the floor.
Damn it, Ota. What are you thinking?
It appears that he took off with Iris.
What were you doing during all this?
My power was shut down due to the stun gun. I have rebooted in safe mode and am now operational.
What time is it?
It'll be 3 o'clock soon. In the morning, of course.
Why didn't you wake me up?
I tried. You wouldn't budge. I thought you were passed out drunk, so I left you like that.
But I didn't have a glass in front of me, right?
So you weren't drunk?
Didn't have a single drop.
Oh, I thought you were drinking straight out of the bottle. Just like the old days.
Well, I guess we better get going.
Date, the boss is calling.
Oh, how am I gonna report this one?
Date, listen. Stay calm, but this is an emergency. Just now, the killer... Well, just watch the video.
Oh, great. What now? Again?
Iris.
Don't tell me it's the polar bear again. There's the saw. Yeah, I know about that.
No, that's...
The criminal is streaming this live.
Iba, the source.
Identified. The Okiura Fishery Cold Storage Warehouse, Koto District.
Okiura?
Date, focus. We need to get to the site, now.
I think Mama ran out of marble. Here we go again. We didn't even see the polar bear in the video this time.
Our
Our destination is far from here. 20 minutes at the fastest.
Please let me make it in time.
Is Oda's mom even going to be there this time?
That sick bastard.
Well, there's the polar bear. It's a really slow saw.
Tessa! Hold on! I'll save you!
Okay, it's the same exact thing. It's him walking in, still unsure who was in the polar bear costume or what even happened.
Stay away from Tessa! Ah!
Fight for your e-girl, Oda. Wait for me while I get the gun. I kept my foot to the gas the whole time. I could feel the sweat on my palms. The engine raised a high-pitched scream. You already said this in the other one. I could barely hear my heartbeat pounding in my ears. How much time had passed, feeling time itself disappeared. I started multi-lane drifting. Is this again? Did he beat Oda?
It can't be.
Oh, this time he beat Oda.
Stop!
No!
Oh, Jesus!
No!
I didn't expect her to actually die this time. Oh, that felt bad. That felt like I was speechless. I was like, oh, it's the same. Yeah, we'll get there and then whatever. Yeah, what? No, she died. What is going on? Does that mean Oda's dead too? Both cars are here. She gonna be frozen again? What? What? Why is the polar bear cut in half? Or did they put Iris in the polar bear I can see that person's spine. They totally put the costume on Iris, didn't they? Oh! Wait, did he kill Iris then kill himself? Or did the killer take off the costume and... I don't understand. So they're both dead. Damn it!
There you are. Finally. I was looking all over for you. It's rare to see you down like this. But it's understandable. You blame yourself for this, don't you? Beating yourself up about taking Iris to Marble, and about letting Ota get the upper hand on you. Am I right? Shall I tell you what Investigation HQ thinks? Ota Matsushita is a criminal stalker who committed murder-suicide. Ota had a selfish love for Iris. He was under the delusion that Iris loved him too. But Iris refused Ota. So Ota decided that he and Iris should be together in the afterlife, killed her, then killed himself.
That doesn't sound right at all. Do you have to play it again, Aiba? Jesus.
That's ridiculous. Ota would never kill Iris. And how do you explain the other two murders? Iris's left eye was hollowed out. Just like Renju and Shoko. Those 3 murders were definitely executed by the same person.
Yeah, and it wouldn't make much sense for Oda to want to replicate that unless he wanted people to know it was him?
The new Cyclops killer. There's no way that's Ota. Too many pieces don't fit. Too many contradictions, like killing Iris.
Such as?
Such as... Oda had no incentive to kill Renju at all.
Maybe he was thinking like this. The reason Iris and I can't be together is because her agency prohibits it. Making the president, Renju, the ultimate bad guy in his mind.
Mizuki is Ota's close friend. Do you really think Ota would kill his friend's father?
What about Shoko? That one makes absolutely no sense.
Shoko was married to Renju.
And?
Maybe he was trying to get at Renju by killing her.
That's a stretch. They've been divorced for years. Ota knows all about it. He wouldn't use Shoko to get to Renju.
Yeah, that's so far. Oda's behavior during the video. He actually shut off the machine. Why would he bother trying to make it look?
Ota showed himself on the stream. If he was gonna kill Iris and then himself, why would he do that? The only reason you would show yourself like that is to prove that you weren't the culprit. Ota and the polar bear on the screen at the same time would prove that they're not the same person. That behavior would be totally unnecessary if he was gonna commit suicide anyway.
Well, maybe he wasn't planning on dying at first. After he killed Iris, he realized that he couldn't live with himself.
So he lies down on the workbench and turns on the ice-cutting machine himself? I don't buy it.
Oda's too much of a coward for that. What about the polar bear costume?
The culprit was wearing a polar bear costume, probably to hide their identity. But if murder-suicide was the plan, the costume served no purpose.
There are some additional discrepancies. I analyzed the investigation report. Judging by his wound, Ota was stabbed in the side by a kitchen knife or something similar.
So Oda's mom... Oh, wait, no, Iris. Shit. Iris has the knife. What does that mean, though? Because even if Iris did stab Oda, she couldn't have stabbed... Wait, we didn't even find Iris's body now that I think about it. But it was live. She died live. Like, there was no cuts or anything. But we didn't even find Iris's body, for one. She could actually be frozen again, but I don't see how they could set that all up in that short time. So it doesn't match up in that sense, because why would she stab Oda? Then Oda would be perfectly fine while trying to save her, run off to fight something, and then die while doing it.
Are you sure?
I am.
I told the boss about what Aiba found.
Oh, I know that.
Well?
Ota could have stabbed himself. Maybe he thought it would be a fatal wound, but when it didn't work, he went for the ice-cutting machine.
Then, shouldn't we have recovered the kitchen knife from the scene?
Maybe he threw it in the ocean.
Wait, he ran outside? This is so
Boss,
far.
come on. Ota goes out to the water, stabs himself in the gut, throws the knife over the side, then walks back to the warehouse?
Well, I wasn't being serious. I didn't think Ota was the culprit from the beginning. I was just playing devil's advocate for HQ.
Really?
Yes, really.
Anyway, Ota didn't kill anyone, and he didn't kill himself. Here's what I think happened.
Stay away from Tessa!
Ota knew Iris was kidnapped, so he rushed onto the scene. That's when he saw the culprit wearing the polar bear costume. He tried to fight him off, but ended up being stabbed in the side. He was weakened and losing blood at the culprit's mercy. The culprit forced him into the costume, then under the ice-cutting machine. And then...
Then, who is the culprit?
I wish I knew.
We're up to 4 victims, but Ota was a special circumstance. He wasn't specifically targeted by the culprit.
Right. And he was the only one to not have his eye pulled out.
So let's focus on the 3 other victims. Shoko, Renju, and Iris. What connects these 3?
Connections.
If you find a connection between the victims, you find a connection to the culprit.
Well,
That's the theory of investigation, right?
this all could be financial. They're all connected to the company in some way, which means there could have been a financial issue in which someone at the company was screwed over. Someone somehow was screwed over at the company and killed all 3 of them, because that's the only connection they have, is that they're all invested in the same thing.
You think the new Cyclops killer is related to them somehow?
Maybe, maybe not. But it's a good starting point.
Oda's mother. Oh boy.
Mayumi had motive for killing Iris and Renju.
It's not her.
Mayumi hated Iris, and she didn't think well of Lemnis Gate either. And since Renju is the president... Anyway, the weak point is Renju's ex-wife, Shoko. I can't imagine why Mayumi would kill her. And above all else, she would never harm her only son, let alone kill him.
MoMA.
Renju and Shoko were connected to the Kumakuras, but there's no connection to Iris.
Aside from the fact that MoMA loves Iris, but I still don't think that. So Sejima had connections to all of them. Mizuki.
Mizuki has the strongest connections with all 3 victims. Shoko and Renju were her parents, and she was close friends with Iris.
But she's 12. She can fit in that gigantic polar bear costume.
She was good friends with Ota too. But that's why I could never believe Mizuki would kill all 4 of them. Thinking of her as a suspect is ridiculous.
Iris's mother, Hitomi? Why would Iris's mom... No. She loved her daughter. I can't even think of a reason.
Hitomi and Renju are definitely linked. They were high school classmates. And she did say that she met Shoko twice. But I can't imagine she would kill Iris in such a gruesome way. No matter what the circumstances were. It seems impossible to me.
And I know what you're all saying. It's like, we proved that So was in the polar bear costume in the other Somnium. And it's like... I don't know about that. I don't know if that relates to every single Somnium or not. That's the reason I'm being so open about who anything could be. But it looks like it's the same result.
Renju, Shoko, and So. There is a connection between Renju and Shoko through the Kumakuras. But again, I can't see any clear link to Iris.
Me.
I know Renju and Shoko, and I'm connected to Iris, but I have an alibi. Aside from Shoko, there's no way I could have killed any of them. No. Now that I think about it, Shoko too. I don't remember killing her. My memories from 6 years ago are missing, but I still have my memory of recent events. And if I start doubting myself now...
Date, I can say without a doubt that there is 0 possibility you are the new Cyclops killer. I have been working with you for years. I know better than anyone that you are innocent.
Unless Aiba's making us do it.
I thought it over, boss.
Did you see that face she made in the Somnium? That was not normal. Aiba could somehow be controlling us and making us do it, but the thing is, we lost our eye, and Aiba wasn't even there during the original killing, so I don't know.
The people I know, I can't peg any of them as the murderer.
And no leads to pursue?
No.
Then there's only one thing you can do. Continue your investigation. Do whatever it takes to get the culprit, to get justice for the victims.
You're right. Got it, boss.
We need to check up on Mizuki. Going straight home to Mizuki. I need to talk to her, make sure she's doing okay. Make sure Ada Rabbit didn't murder her in her sleep. Mizuki's curled up. Oh, she just lost 2 of her friends. She looked like a small animal frightened by a predator. Mizuki. Not really any mood for jokes right now. Mizuki staring at the floor. About Iris. About Oda. About the cold storage warehouse.
Mizuki must know about Iris and Ota.
Of course. The news was distributed heavily across the internet. Not just in Japan, but worldwide.
Oh my god, this poor girl. Both of her parents are dead, and both of her friends are dead.
3 days ago, Mizuki discovered her mother's body. 2 days ago, her father's. This morning, 2 of her best friends.
Could whoever's doing this hate Mizuki?
It is completely understandable that she is at her mental limit.
Can I be left alone for a while?
Are you okay?
Yeah.
She certainly didn't seem so. But I can't stay by her side
contact
forever.
Abyss. See if they can get Mizuki a good counselor.
Understood.
I stayed with her for a little while, but we didn't speak. Having nothing more to say, I left. Oh. Glad I checked up on her, but in certain ways, I really wish I hadn't. Well, this route sucks. Oh, it's so bloody and depressing, and the other routes are so happy, sad. There's no happy here. Oh, hey, look, it's Kamami. I stepped into the cold storage warehouse. The air conditioning wasn't running, but it was still cold. The temperature hadn't raised much at all. The cold air sunk into my skin, and the center of my body was burning hot. Any clues?
No, nothing so far.
The inspector is doing his duties as usual. Any progress on the investigation?
I checked this place point by point, but didn't find nothing.
A police officer. Iris and Oda were sliced in two by this ice cutting machine. Iris and Oda.
Iris's estimated time of death and cause of death have been confirmed. The video was not a recording. It was a live.
Which means Iris's time
It was
of
a live
death
stream,
is 3:20
filmed in real
a.m.
time. So she died at 3:20 a.m.
Right here. Iris and Ota were.
I am sure you are already aware of Ota's time of death.
Just before I arrived. About 3:30 in the morning.
And the cause of death.
Right, about that. Ota had a stab wound from a kitchen knife in his side.
Correct.
What was the exact cause of death? Was it the knife wound or...
I cannot determine that. I can conclude that the knife wound was at least close to being fatal. Even if Ota was still alive on the workbench, he was certainly on the verge of death. If he weren't already extremely weak, we would expect to see more signs of struggle.
Ugh. Maybe Oda was trying to help Iris, jumping at the criminal. That led to a scuffle, and Oda ended up with a knife wound in his side. He lost all his power to fight back. He was forcibly put inside the costume and finally cut open by the ice cutting machine.
Why? Why did the culprit put the costume on Ota?
Unknown. Iris also had her left eye removed.
Yeah.
And like Renju and Shoko, Iris's left eyeball has not been recovered.
An ice cutting machine. Never want to see this damn machine ever again. If I ever see an ice cutting machine in any other LP, I am breaking it. I'm destroying it. They're cursed. This object is cursed. These forklifts are cursed.
This forklift, it does not appear to be functional. It has not been moved in some time.
Okay, yeah. Same old, same old.
A video camera and laptop. This is what the criminal used to stream.
Once again, I do think it was so, but...
All of these items have been bought from pawn shops and thrift stores. It would be difficult to determine a suspect from them. I have logged into the Wi-Fi in this warehouse. Okiura Fishery Co., Ltd., is listed as the owner. However, I found the password written directly on the router. Anyone who saw it could have used it.
So the person would have to know that this place had Wi-Fi in the first place.
I have done some research. As the name suggests, the company is owned by the Okiuras. The same Okiuras we know. Renju's father created the company.
Another connection to Renju.
No, actually. Currently, Okiura Fishery has nothing to do with Renju. The company has been managed by office representatives for the past 17 years after Renju's father died. Renju holds no shares and is not involved in the management. In short, Renju did not inherit the company from his father, and it was instead given to other persons.
But it can't be a coincidence.
It certainly is suspicious.
This warehouse is cursed forever.
We should get moving. Officers from the local jurisdiction are checking the warehouse thoroughly. We will not find anything of importance here.
Yeah, you're right.
You can ask CSI to inform you if they find anything.
CSI Miami.
All right.
Show shouldn't exist. It was a travesty. I'm heading out. Let me know if you find anything. Let them know, then left the warehouse. I'm gonna head out. I like the fact that I never know if we're in like a futuristic dystopia or not, you know? Like, on one hand, every building seems completely normal, but then the police have like holographic police tape. And we have a gun that looks like it belongs in XCOM. Actually, if Kale had that gun, that'd be pretty awesome. When I left the warehouse, I saw Pewter. What is he doing here? He walked up to me while I was trying to work it out.
Date, I have to talk to you about something.
Huh?
About the original Cyclops serial killings.
Why this all of a sudden?
Because I want you to solve this case, Mr. Date. I want you to find who did this and bring them to justice. So, if I can help you, even a little...
Why didn't you say anything at Abyss?
Because Boss would be mad.
The boss was there. I couldn't speak openly in front of her. So, I decided to meet you here.
All right. Let's hear it.
Earlier, I told you that I was completely certain the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. I am absolutely certain the original Cyclops killer could not have committed these crimes. Let me explain why. I'll start by telling you the identity of the Cyclops killer.
What?
Although, it's more accurate to say, killers.
More than one?
In the first series of killings, the culprit had an accomplice. One of them was born a murderous psychopath. The other is Rohan Kumakura, the previous chairman of the Kumakuras.
Oh. That guy.
They each had a role to play. The murderer committed the homicide, and Rohan removed the eyeball.
How do you know all this? Who is the murderous psychopath?
He was born with a brain dysfunction. Due to damage to the posterior pituitary gland, he was unable to properly secrete oxytocin.
Oxytocin is a peptide hormone linked to feelings of love, affection, and trust. It is colloquially referred to as the love hormone. It causes a tranquilizing effect which improves mood and relieves stress. It is normally secreted when the body makes contact with an object of affection, such as an embrace or caress.
Oh.
I'm sure you know what this implies, but he was unable to feel love in the way that we do. However, he was able to experience a substitute. His brain was wired in such a way that allowed him to feel satisfaction through other means. Due to the unique idiosyncrasies of his brain, he was able to release large amounts of dopamine and endorphins by performing a certain action.
What was it?
Murder?
Murder.
Thanks, Peter. You answered my question.
Dopamine is a hormone linked to the reward system of the brain. The pleasant feeling attained through accomplishment is dopamine. Endorphins are a kind of brain narcotic. They dull pain and create a feeling of happiness.
He got pleasure from killing people?
It's slightly more complicated than that. Killing people was the only way he could get pleasure. He was 12 when he took his first life. That enlightened him to the pleasure of murder, which he would do again and again.
Oh. So who is this guy? Why did this case get classified?
That, I don't know.
The details of the original Cyclops serial killings case have become nebulous over time. Even the official investigation material contains nothing of value. I am unable to draw any conclusions from them.
You really have no idea?
If I did, I would tell you.
About Rohan.
18 years ago, Rohan took a woman's eye. She was already dead. He put his finger into her eye socket and gouged it out. The reason why was simple. He was fascinated by women's eyes.
Okay, he's Yoshikage Kira, but eyeball edition.
Their beauty stimulated his greed and his desire to possess them.
Did he have a stand?
He needed to have them, to make them his own.
Did he eat sandwiches with them?
Driven by this instinctive impulse, he took the woman's eye. From then on, he acquired a grotesque obsession with the eyes of dead women.
Ugh.
He was very particular about his need that the eye belonged to a deceased woman. But even being the head of a Yakuza gang, there weren't too many opportunities for him to indulge. His deepest, darkest desire went unfulfilled for years. However, he soon met his ideal partner, the aforementioned The Cyclops killer would commit the murder, and Rohan would take the eye.
Then why did... I guess because of the power of his gang, he'd be able to cover up a lot of murders, wouldn't he?
Thus, a mutually beneficial relationship was established. This was the origin of the Cyclops serial killings. At about the same time, you were assigned to Abyss.
Summarize for me.
The original Cyclops killer had an accomplice.
There were 2 Cyclops killers.
And one of them was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Rohan committed suicide by jumping to his death 1 year ago.
Yeah, he's dead.
That means... Pewter, tell me this. One of the original killers is dead, I know that. That means one remains. Who is he?
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police. They actually picked him up on other charges. But, in any case, he is currently serving a life sentence in Fuchu prison.
Who is he, though?
Fuchu prison?
Yes.
What's his name?
In prison, he doesn't have a name. He is simply called Number 89.
Oh!
Number 89.
I know who killed Shogun Adami.
So, now you know why I said that. That the original Cyclops killer couldn't have committed these crimes. Because one is dead, and neither of them
The
had
other is behind
opportunity.
bars. Unless one of them was Iris, but that still doesn't make sense because we saw Iris die live. I guess we're gonna head out then. Oh, I don't even want to go. Oh, these places are so painful to go to. I mean, his mom has dementia, so she may not even, like, she may forget that he's even dead, which is even more depressing. The place was silent. It was so quiet, I felt like I could hear the floating dust. Stepped inside, I thought it was empty, but I saw a shadow in the corner of my eye. It was Mayumi. It was like watching an old, decaying old tree cling pathetically to the earth. I don't like that. I'm sorry to interrupt. About Oda. Damn, there's nothing we can say. Do you want to talk about it?
This is your fault.
How is it my fault?
I heard from the police. Because you didn't take care of Iris, my boy Ota got involved.
Date, I looked into the investigation report. Mayumi confirmed Ota's body early this morning.
I see.
I'm sorry. I want to be alone right now. Did you not hear me? I said leave!
Oh, so sad just after going through the last Somnium.
Date, let's go. She is in no state to talk.
Yeah, you're right.
Why are we even going to these places? It should be obvious no one's gonna talk to us. They're grieving, and I know, like... Ugh. Oh, like she's gonna hate us like any less. I visited the Songen house while I found Hitomi with a hollow look in her eyes. She let me in and asked me to sit on the sofa. I agreed and sat down, but after that I couldn't say a single word. The heavy silence weighed on both of us. About Iris.
Iris was my everything. We always went everywhere together, whether it was buying clothes or going to the movies, or taking a walk, or going shopping at the supermarket. When she was young, she would just hold one of my fingers. Her hand was too small to hold mine.
I have to go back to the other Somnium eventually too, where Iris is dead also. Great.
And it was 2, then 3, and finally she could hold my hand. But eventually, she left my hands altogether. She started crossing her arms, being independent, even though she needed constant attention growing up.
Assuming that all the timelines are the same, it's still So, but I just don't know anymore, because So was dead before? So what? I can't even remember which timeline that So died in. Yeah, it was the very last one, that's right. About Iris.
Her memories are a part of this room. And always will be. When she was a baby, she fell off that sofa and cried and cried. One day she tore up her picture book all over the floor here. Another time she drew with crayons all over the window. She painted my portrait on Mother's Day. Scratches on the floor, chipped plates, burn marks on the table, stains on the cushions. Everything you see. It all holds a memory of her, but...
About Oda.
Oda was one of my students. I taught him in elementary school. I heard it from the police. Oda tried to help Iris and ended up... I don't know what to say. I have no words.
I feel bad that I keep going back to ask her things. Can you think of any information?
Hitomi, my entire focus is on this case. Is there anything at all you can tell me?
I don't know if this is important, but...
No, please. Tell me.
I may have told you this already. I met Renju's wife Shoko twice before. The first time at the wedding, the second time a month ago. That second time was in the waiting room of the prison.
She was waiting to see someone in the prison?
Prison?
There's an acquaintance of mine from when we were younger.
She's talking about number 89.
I visit them a few times a year. And by coincidence, I saw Shoko. I don't think she noticed me, but I recognized her as Renju's wife right away. She was there for the same reason I was. To visit one of the inmates.
Do you know who?
No, I don't. We didn't talk.
Which prison?
Fuchu Prison. In Tokyo.
Fuchu.
Prison?
Alright. Time to head out.
I'm sorry to have bothered you. I'll be going now.
I don't know what to do. Thinking about her. Date, please, you have to catch them. Please. Please.
I will. Trust me.
Damn, feels bad. Honestly, her voice acting has been really good, but that crying sounded super fake. And I don't mean like in-game fake, I just mean like probably the voice actor isn't too experienced with doing like fake crying. You know? It sounded like sort of real, like it was almost there, but there was something off about it.
Are you okay, honey?
Huh?
About last night. Well, at 3 in the morning anyway.
You know about it?
It's on every channel. You have the face of a ghost. Do you want a glass?
I don't need a drink. I need information. Do you have anything?
Well, let's see. I do have... I suppose you could call it intuition.
Intuition.
Tell me.
Information about the accident.
The
Or incident.
Kumakuras are involved in this case. Remember what I told you before? That there's a relationship between Ren and the Kumakuras? Shoko also has a relationship with them. You know about her dealings with the Kumakuras, right?
So basically, 2 of the victims are linked to the Kumakuras. That must mean they're involved somehow, right?
Not 2, 3.
3? Iris?
So...
No, not that one. The boy. He came here last night.
Ota?
What? Oda's related to them in what way?
Yes, from Matsushita Diner. He's linked to the Kumakuras as well.
How?
Have you heard the rumor?
Mama told me a similar story to Aiba's, about Sosajima in the Kawasaki district. The basic idea is this. 8 years ago, So sold his land in the Kawasaki district for 30 billion yen. Half a year later, an explosion at the chemical plant caused the land prices to drop drastically. So bought back the land for 1 billion yen. That's right, Oda's parents live in a place near the Kawasaki district, so it's like... it just doesn't have a lot of visitors. Almost like he knew beforehand that the accident would happen. Did So blow it up, or conspire to blow it up? No, that wouldn't make sense. So wouldn't gain anything from that. He would end up with 29 billion in cash and 1 billion in land. It's a net zero. But there's more to the story.
The Kumakuras own a handful of real estate companies. They of course look legit, but they're Yakuza fronts. I'll call those real estate companies the KE to keep it simple for you. The KE followed in So's footsteps. They bought up land in Kawasaki. Now, back to So. Have you heard of the plans for the casino in Kawasaki? So was the one who came up with it.
I was born and raised in Kawasaki. I remember the landscape of my childhood, and I loved it dearly. But look at Kawasaki now. When I see images of the destruction on television, my heart aches like it's being chopped to pieces. But I promise you, I will revive the Kawasaki district at any cost. Casino Town Kawasaki will give new life to the city.
After that, So moved fast. He submitted the bills he needed to the National Assembly after drumming up support in the right places. The bills passed, and it became an official government initiative.
Decontamination efforts therefore increased at a rapid pace in the Kawasaki district. At the moment, the area is still considered off-limits. However, the air in Kawasaki is currently purified to such an extent that it has no negative effect on the human body.
If the plan goes smoothly, land prices in Kawasaki are going to skyrocket. And all that land is owned by the KE. And by So himself. The land he bought back for 1 billion will be worth 10 times that soon.
He's involved in some shady business.
This is just another rumor, but...
just tell it.
The chemical plant exploding was no accident. It was done intentionally.
By So and the Kumakuras, you mean?
But there's no hard evidence of that. It's just gossip. What were we talking about again?
Ota and the Kumakuras.
Yeah, how is he related?
Oh, right. You know how Matsushita Diner is close to the Kawasaki district? The chemical plant explosion made times hard. Foot traffic went down, sales declined. No wonder it closed down. Ota must hold a grudge. Someone caused that explosion. And if it was intentional, oh, he'd hate them even more. That's how I link Ota to the Kumakuras.
Thanks for everything.
Thank you, Mama. I don't know if what you told me will lead to anything, but...
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to waste your time.
No, it was very helpful.
I'm glad I can help, even if it's just a little.
Well then, be seeing you.
Come back anytime.
Alright, let's head back to Abyss. Where we're gonna do... I don't know what, because we have no clues or anything at all, really. I returned to the boss's office to report. But I didn't see her anywhere.
Where did she go?
Well, she isn't always here, correct?
True.
I sat down in my usual seat and decided to wait for boss.
What are you doing?
I thought it would be easier to talk like this.
What do we have to talk about?
A summary of the investigation, perhaps?
What summary? We don't have anything new.
That's not true.
Huh?
I was curious, so I did some research about number 89.
Oh? Anything to talk about in here? Nope, doesn't look like it. What is number 89's real name?
Unknown.
You don't know?
No such person is listed in the family registry. It is possible he is a foreigner, but his nationality is unknown. However, I believe it is safe to say that he was born and raised in Japan.
What's the relationship between number 89 and Shoko?
Unknown. I cannot determine if they have any connection. Approximately 1 month ago, Hitomi Sagan witnessed Shoko in Fuchu Prison's waiting room. I am unable to say for certain that the person she was there to visit was number 89.
The one that makes the least sense to me in all of this is Shoko. Like, she's so far detached from Iris and So in general. Or Iris and So. Iris and Renju in general.
After all, Fuchu Prison houses 2,000 inmates.
But number 89 knew Shoko's name.
Unless this person hates Mizuki and is trying to kill everyone around Mizuki, but that's a stretch.
That must mean that he knew her somehow.
It is possible.
Who's number 89?
As you know, he is an assassin with multiple confirmed kills. He is currently serving a sentence at Fuchu Prison. He was imprisoned 6 years ago.
That's what Pewter told us.
After his 4th murder, he was arrested by the police.
Alright. And what about number 89 and the new Cyclops serial killings?
Pewter claims that there were 2 culprits behind the original serial. One was the former chairman of the Kumakuras, Rohan Kumakura.
Every time they say Rohan, I think of JoJo.
But Rohan committed suicide last year.
That leaves 1 culprit still alive, number 89.
But number 89 couldn't possibly have committed these crimes. He was in jail when each of the murders occurred.
Correct. However, I do not believe it is accurate to claim that he had nothing to do with the incident.
I know who killed Shogunadami.
Why don't we just go meet him?
If he was telling the truth, his involvement is possible.
Iba's sitting on the desk. To be precise, the image of Iba sitting on the desk is being sent to my brain. Let's talk to him.
Let's talk to number 89.
I don't know if he's telling the truth or if he's full of it. But he's our last remaining loose end.
However, we need not go to him. We can bring him to us.
I'm sure that'll go well, just like it did last time.
With him, it would be more efficient.
Ooh, syncing with him?
I can.
Why didn't we just do that the first time in the other route, now that I think about it? But whatever. After cutting through some red tape, number 89 was brought to HQ. He took considerable time to arrive, but for some reason, boss never showed up. Guess we're just syncing with Pewter, which is really scary because Pewter knows him. And this could go really bad, but I guess this time around, Renju did die, so he's less willing to make a deal. Because Renju can't ask for anything in this instance, because he's dead. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Hi, number 89. They call you number 69 in prison? I'm sorry, I had to say it at least once. Okay,
Sorry to interrupt your busy day, but I need you to tell me something. I'd appreciate your cooperation.
I'd love it if Date was just ridiculous as accusations. So he's like, your name's number 89, huh? And he's like, yeah, what of it? You know what you get if you turn those numbers upside down? 68. I knew it. What does that have to do with anything? It's a clue, I guarantee you. He's like, alright then. Peter's just sitting in the back of the room, like, nodding his head. He's like, wow. Date is just the best at his job. What's with your giraffe neck, dude? Who does he remind me of? You know who he looks like? He looks like Saitama before he goes bald. What's your name?
Number 89.
Your real name?
I don't remember.
Do you know Shoko Nadami?
Yeah, I guess I do.
About a month ago, Shoko visited Fuchu Prison. Was she there to see you?
That's right.
What did you talk about?
Nothing special.
You're in no position to lie.
I'm not lying. She didn't come to hear me talk.
Then why did she come?
To meet me.
Meet you?
She probably just wanted to see me.
Why? When did you first meet Shoko?
A long time ago. I don't remember exactly when.
What's your relationship to her?
A physical one.
Wow.
I'm kidding. She was just a business partner.
Where are you from?
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso is a republic in West Africa. Population 17 million.
I don't have time for your jokes.
You're the original Cyclops killer, aren't you?
That's right. I was one of the culprits behind the case 6 years ago. One of the 2 Cyclops killers.
But wait, didn't... But Iris's mom loved this dude, didn't she? She didn't die? I feel like there's a big lie here.
Alright.
Who killed Shoko?
Let's get right down to it. 2 days ago, you called Investigation HQ and said, I know who killed Shoko Nadami.
That's right.
Who?
Hey, don't be so hasty. We haven't agreed on a deal. You're gonna let me out of prison, right?
It's done. You've got a deal.
Alright, but to explain it properly, I need to tell you a story. It might take some time. Is that alright with you?
I've got nothing but time.
Then let's get started.
Story time!
The story of a lonely assassin.
Okay, McCree. And then I took
Once
out my
upon
gun.
a time, there was a detective full of righteous
oh my god,
justice.
he is McCree. And then I walked up to my pal Winston and was like, hey, maybe we should reinstate that Overwatch thing. But then Shoko wouldn't let me.
Let's call him F.
Let's call him F. Yeah, that's hilarious now.
F found the evils of the world intolerable. F had no parents, no siblings, and grew up in an orphanage since he was born. He suffered every kind of abuse imaginable there. It led him to despise all the evils of the world. One day, F was chasing a thug down at the harbor. Someone wanted for the assault and murder of women.
Okay, I get it. I'll just throw down my knife. Here. And you lower your gun. It's fine. I got nothing else on me. I'll go quietly. You know, I have a history with hospitals. I've been going to a special hospital for a while. Even if I get caught, it's all good. I'll come right back out again. What should I do next time? Just thinking about it gets me excited.
That's the real killer, isn't it? Holy shit. He's like, I'm a professional assassin, shoots him like 9 times.
The culprit was unarmed, but F never served a day in prison. The case went to trial for some time, but it was determined to be self-defense, and he was declared innocent. If the truth got out, it would be a huge scandal for the police. People at the upper level were terrified of what might happen, so they had evidence fabricated. F wasn't suspended or disciplined at all. After a while, he returned to his job like nothing happened.
This guy's
That
so
was a
smug.
turning point for him. He was ready to shed the morality that was weighing him down, holding him back. F still wanted justice, and he was willing to dispense it to the immoral one by one. He became an assassin, a lone gunman. No agent, no employer. He was his own man. F believed that he was judge, jury, and executioner, but it didn't last long. One day, F got rid of a criminal we'll call X. X was responsible for defrauding and killing an innocent old man for his life insurance policy.
Renju.
Turns out, X had connections. Someone wasn't happy that he died. Rohan Kumakura, chairman of the Kumakuras. X was a top executive of the Kumakuras at the time.
Renju once again.
Rohan ordered his men to find and kidnap F.
I've done some research. I know you've cleaned up at least 18 pieces of scum from this earth, but somehow there hasn't been a single criminal investigation. They're all treated as suicides, accidents, or natural causes. Amazing work. I'm impressed. How about you work for us? Of course, you have the right to say no, but it'll be the last word out of your mouth.
F was trapped. Even if he somehow survived, he would be looking over his shoulder for the rest of his life. He had no choice but to take Rohan's offer. Thus, F's self-employment came to an end. He became a hired gun of the Kumakuras. Rohan even gave him a code name, Falco, named for the falcon, a bird of prey.
Why are you so edgy?
Falco didn't quit his job as a police officer, though. He worked as a detective by day, assassin by night, at the will of the organization. An ordinary killer would need motive to take a life, but not Falco. He did as he was told, one target after another. It didn't take long to destroy his heart completely.
And then he met a family.
Time passed, and a few years back, Falco, who by this time was exhausted in body and spirit, made a fatal mistake. He missed his mark and ended up taking a bullet to the stomach.
And that's when Iris found him.
Somehow, he managed to escape. After reaching a nearby shrine, his legs finally gave out under him. He had no strength left. He put his back up against the shrine and let out a moaning breath that he thought might be his last. But at that moment...
Oh wait, no, it was
vision.
It was her that found him, not Iris.
He watched her take out her phone and dial for help. At the same time, he heard footsteps. Footsteps of at least 2 people closing in. He knew immediately that they were after him. He sprung into action, grabbing the woman and pulling her close, kissing her to keep her from talking.
Oh, that's why he kissed her.
That was the first encounter between Falco and the woman.
That was like a spy movie.
She was a teacher at some school. It was like she was from a totally different world than him. Listening to her talk, he would forget everything about his line of work. She was his only contact with the They met in secret a few more times.
My bad.
And Falco. She was his only contact with the ordinary, mundane world. They met in secret a few more times, and Falco felt his heart grow warmer. Falco felt her smile and kindness were like a cold glass of water for Falco's parched heart.
Okay, the fact that he's talking about him in third person, the fact that he's talking about himself in third person is hilarious. I'm sorry. It's touching, but it's just funny. He's like, and then Falco went to the grocery store. And then Falco bought some top ramen. And then Falco realized he left his credit card on his couch. And then Falco's car broke down. And Falco cried for a few minutes.
Falco started to become himself again. his former self.
And then Falco met the Reaper.
He swore on his life that from then on, he would live for her.
So, you want to go clean? Fine. Do as you please. You've done a lot for us. But there is one last thing. One final job I want you to do for me. It's nothing major. This woman and her daughter. I need you to dispose of them. Should be simple, no?
Oh, it's the exact woman he fell in love with.
Rohan handed Falco a picture of a woman and a girl. It was the teacher Falco met at the shrine. And her daughter. She had just turned 12. Why the two of them? Rohan, as usual, never gave a reason. And Falco had no intention of carrying out the kill. But if he didn't, he knew that someone else would. He thought long and hard. How was he going to keep them safe and get out of the life of crime? He couldn't find an answer, no matter how hard he thought. He was backed into a corner. So, he decided to call on an old friend for help. And then...
An old friend? Silence. For some reason, he wouldn't open his mouth again. Why did you stop?
Why did you stop?
He's still breathing. I don't think he took like a pill or something to kill himself. What's the connection between that and Shoko?
What's the connection between that and Shoko?
Well, what was that the whole story?
Was that the whole story?
You mentioned a detective.
You mentioned a detective.
Answer me!
Hey, answer me.
This is a transaction, remember? Until I get a guarantee that you'll uphold your end of the bargain, I'm not telling you anything else. I'll give you half up front, half later. If you want to hear the rest of my story, you better start the release procedures. Once they've cleared, I'll tell you everything.
Date, it is unlikely that number 89 will uphold his promise, even upon release.
Pewter.
Yes?
Start the preparations.
To sink.
For what?
What do you think? The sink.
Oh, we're gonna sync with number 89.
I have injected number 89 with the usual dosage. He will not be waking up anytime soon. Are you ready, Agent Date?
Yes.
Yeah.
I have my valve index on.
I know.
Then let's begin.
Well, it looks like you guys get an hour-and-a-half episode of the Somnium Files. Oh, it's just the house. Funny, it's this first Somnium we ever went to, and we're back again. Sup? Okay, I'm actually going to end this episode here because we've been recording for quite a while, but man, was this episode depressing. Like, I was planning to go and do some other stuff first, too. Because people were like, Xeno, you should go do some other stuff before you start this Somnium. And I was like, I was going to, but the game immediately dropped me inside the Somnium and had that weird, like, that weird distortion on the screen. And I don't know what that was. I didn't know if there was a scripted thing. So I just kept going. But, yeah. Why do I feel like this is going to make a shape when we're done? I don't know. Doesn't even look like a shape right now. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Somehow. Next episode, we're going to be going through the Somnium, and once we finish that, unless there are two branching routes that go this way, which it really doesn't look like there's room for it, unless one goes, like, over here, and the other one goes up there. But unless that happens, then next episode, we're probably going to finish up this Somnium, do some other stuff, and then finally return to this one over here, which was locked to us, and is unlocked now. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, please leave a like. It really helps me out. And I'll see you in the next one. Right now.